In this video, we're going to be discussing why acute pain becomes chronic pain. I'm Carolyn Zeff, and I'm an athletic therapist and osteopathic manual practitioner. I believe that by changing your state, story, and strategy, you can change your pain. So how does acute pain become chronic pain? It's actually a really good question, and there's a lot of different explanations and theories behind why pain would persist in our bodies for months or even years on end. So now it's fair to say that all pain starts out as acute, and then if it continues beyond 3 months, it becomes labeled as chronic pain. Now, if you're going to take anything away from this video, here's what it should be. The majority of chronic pain is actually not caused by physical problems in our body. I know, crazy, right? What am I talking about? So I'm gonna say it again because it's important to get our heads kind of wrapped around this concept. So the chronic pain that we've been feeling in our bodies that we've seen 100 doctors about and they can't find anything wrong. In the majority of cases, it's actually not being caused by a physical problem in the body. It's actually being caused from a learned neural pathway or neural pathways in the brain. Pain is a danger signal, and sometimes these danger signals can get activated and then they can get stuck in this feedback loop of our brain firing off messages that there is some sort of danger to be aware of. But the reality is there's no physical damage that requires the kind of attention our body is putting out in the form of the pain signal. So this amplification in the signaling to our brain that there is danger or threat is actually creating a hypersensitized state in our central nervous system. And we can actually refer to this as central nervous system sensitization. And we can actually feel the effects of this in many different forms or many different ways, like chronic lower back pain or cervical or lumbar radiculopathy, which is kind of this irritation in the nerve roots that causes pain, weakness, numbness, or tingling. And we can also feel it in the form of chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia, tension headaches and migraines, and even mood disorders like anxiety and depression. Central nervous system sensitization can also cause neuroplastic changes to start to happen within the brain. And our brain has this ability to create new neural connections. That's kind of how we learn new skills, through repetition and continuous nerve stimulation, which strengthens the connectivity in specific activated pathways that we're using to solidify this new skill. Kind of that concept, neurons that fire together, wire together. Now, this also applies in the same way to pain, though. The more repetition or repetitive activation that's happening in a neural pathway that's transmitting this danger message, the less stimulus it's going to require for pain to start to be felt in our body. It's kind of like if you started to notice you were feeling pain after sitting in a chair for 60 minutes. And then a couple weeks later, you notice that, after only 30 minutes, now I'm starting to feel this lower back pain. And then a couple weeks later, 15 minutes, so it's kind of lowering time. 15 minutes, you start to feel this lower back pain until the point that it's progressing to you just even thinking about sitting down and it causes you to feel lower back pain. So kind of what's happening here in this example, that over these weeks of this back pain happening from sitting down, this repetitive message in the neural pathway that's saying that this pressure from sitting is dangerous is actually allowing less stimulus requirement for the message to be passed along the neural pathway and for you to start to feel pain faster. So the goal to overcoming chronic pain is to actually start to teach your brain that the sensations that were being interpreted as dangerous are actually safe. And retraining your brain has to be done with a lot of repetition to allow the brain and the nervous system to lay down new neural pathways. So the brain actually starts to assign a new interpretation, one of safety, to the same sensation that used to be perceived as dangerous. And then the pain starts to go away. I just want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and share it with a friend.